Hello guys, this is Spyderrock and welcome back to another command tutorial video. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to use the /clone command inside of Minecraft. I'm on Bedrock Edition. Everything I'm doing will apply to Bedrock Edition. Some things will carry over to Java. So anyway, let's hop right into this. Also, I'd like to mention I have a Discord server if you end up having any questions about commands or add-ons or Minecraft in general, or you just want to hang out, join it. There's a link in the description. Anyway, here we go. So, this is the thing that I'm going to just mess around with cloning, and I'm going to show you everything you need to know about cloning here, every part of the command. So anyway, maybe we should start with syntax. Here's the syntax. Clone, start coordinate, end coordinate, and then final coordinate. So with the three squiggles, that essentially means right here. So it will be cloning, my start coordinate is right here, this block, and then my end coordinate is right here, this block, and it will clone it to this block, if that makes sense. So I push this button and you will see it gets cloned right there and the button literally stays. So to demonstrate that for you, I'm gonna grab this, I'm gonna stand right, actually I don't have to do that, I forgot. Anyway, if I want to do this, I can just do /clone. And then you can see if I tab through twice, you can see if I hit enter, you have those three coordinates there. Those are based on the block that you're looking at. So I want to clone from that block, that's this blue block, to, or I guess clone from, yeah, okay, never mind, to this netherite block. Alright, so we've got from here to there is what's being cloned. And where do I want to clone it? I want to clone it right here. So I'm going to go with 3 of the little squiggles. Because that's exactly where I'm standing. It's gonna take it here. I hit enter and boom, that's simple. It just clones the block over. Now let's say I want to clone it right here where this blue block is. Instead of having those 3 squiggles, I'll tab twice. I'm hitting tab twice. If you're on mobile, I think you might just be able to tap it, I'm not sure. I tab twice and then hit space, tab twice, space, tab twice, space, or whatever. Just 3 times, so you have right here you've got your start coordinate and your end coordinate, and then where it's being cloned to. Hit enter and it will be cloned there, as you can see. Pretty simple. Now, in terms of the direction that something gets cloned, as you can see here, I have different coordinates here. So this is actually going from this red block all the way up to this air block right here. It's being cloned, that's the start, or that's the beginning of the clone, the bottom corner, and this is the top corner of the clone. However, it will be cloned in exactly the same shape. So whatever block you clone it to, let's say I want to clone this guy right to this red block. This red block is going to be the most negative coordinate of your cloned area. So I guess it's kind of hard to explain, but if you look, this block right here, this blue block, is the most negative of all the coordinates. You can see I'm going down 1 in the first coordinate. I'm going down 1 in the second coordinate, as well as going down 1 in the third coordinate. It will be the most negative block, I guess the bottom-most block. So if you know that was your start and that was your end, it would be cloned in this exact direction, no matter where. If you're cloning from this block to this block, it will still clone in this position. It won't be mirrored and it won't be rotated or anything like that. It will still sort of go from the bottom, I guess, most negative block to the most positive block. Those are going to be your bottom and top blocks, no matter the coordinates that you use, as long as the same area is selected. It's kind of hard to explain, but if I want to clone, say, I want to clone this, but I'm going to start with this coordinate, so /clone, and then I'm going to grab this blue block's coordinates right here. I'll put a block here just temporarily. And then I'm going to grab these coordinates. It's not going to be flipped around or backwards if I clone them to this red block right here. It will clone them in the exact direction. So it's not going to clone it it's hard to explain, but it's not going to clone it. Let's say I was cloning to here. It's not going to be like, here, let me draw this out for you, I guess. It's not going to clone like this. It will clone as is. So yeah, I'm probably not doing a great job of explaining this part of it. It is kind of complicated, but it really is simple to its core. No matter what block you're cloning, no matter what coordinates you're using, if the volume is the same, if it's the same 4x4 area just from a different beginning and end point, it will always clone in the same direction at the same block. So no matter what, if I select these 4 blocks to be cloned, or I guess these 8 blocks, including these air blocks and the the netherite block right there. Even if I start my cloning from this block or that block or up here or down there, wherever, it will always clone to I guess this block. Pretend this is the whole thing with these blue blocks. It will always clone to that block. So anyway, I hope you can understand that. That's kind of the main important thing with cloning. Everything else is pretty easy, but that's just the thing that you have to like work around. Now I'm going to demonstrate something right over here. So I'm going to build just like a little shack or something. I don't really know. I'm just going to build up like that. I'm gonna have a door here. I'm gonna put some of these here. You know what? Whatever this thing is that I just built, I'm gonna make it look fancy. There we go. This is my build, okay? Pretend this is my build. And I'm gonna put a block there so you can't get in the door. Alright, anyway, I'm going to clone this over somewhere else. I'm gonna clone this whole thing, including all of these concrete blocks. So, I'm going to /clone, and then I'm gonna grab the coordinates of this red block right here. And I'm gonna grab the coordinates of this red block as well, right here. And then this is an error that I think many of you will probably make if you don't watch this part of the video. So I'm gonna clone it to, here we go. I'm gonna clone it to right where I'm standing, and if you look, it's raised up a block. Now if you're wondering why it's raised up a block and why it's not down a block, that's because this block is in the floor, and I'm cloning it to not the block that I'm standing on, but the block that I'm standing in. If you look at your legs, wherever your legs are is the block that you're cloning to. That is the coordinate that you're at. That's the coordinates that you see on the screen right now. So how I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna do the same thing basically, but I'm gonna put a -1 after the, a -1 after the second coordinate, which is gonna be down 1 vertically. I do that, and boom, we get our cloned structure exactly as is. Okay, so here's the last very important thing. I went ahead and grabbed the coordinates of the red, blue, and netherite structure that I made over there to just like mess around with. So I'm gonna clone it over here, but you will see now it says filtered, masked, or replace. So replace is the default. If you go to replace, hold on, I'm gonna put a space here. If you go to replace, and then same with normal is also for the next one here, just normal. Replace and normal, that's the normal, that's the default. That's what you will always have, I guess, if you don't type normal or replace. But if you would like to, feel free to go ahead and type filtered. And if you teleport it, I forgot to have filtered and normal. There we go. You always have to, if you have one, you gotta have the other. So, if I have now filtered and normal, now it will let me select a block. So I'm gonna select the netherite block, and here, let me just netherite block. Where is it? Okay, now it will only. You always also have to put a 0 there. Sorry, I always forget. Netherite block 0, or if you're doing a block with a data value, you got, if it's like concrete and you want it to be, I don't know, whatever blue is, like 14 or 7 or whatever, then you'd have to put that in. Anyway, netherite block 0, it will only clone over the netherite block, but everything will be in the same coordinates. It will just fill everything else with air. It won't even fill it with air, but it will only, I don't even know if it'll fill it with air, to be honest. But it will pull over only the netherite block. So then if we go to masked, that is the other thing. Masked is important because it will clone over everything except for the air block. So let's say I wanted where there's air to still be like sandstone or whatever. If I clone this over here as masked and normal, and then I just hit enter, you can see now these blocks were not replaced by air, they were left as sandstone. This one was air because I broke it. If you want to clone your structure over and have anything on your original structure that is air be replaced with whatever blocks are there, let's say you have like an ore vein or something that you want to copy around a map, it's like this, and you've got like that, and you want to copy this around like a cave system or something, and you don't want it to put air throughout all these blocks, you want there to be, you know, stone or sandstone or whatever you already have there to be there, you can use masked for that. So the last sort of section here that's pretty important is this last little category where it says force, move, and normal. Now, like I said, normal is just the default, it's just the basic, it just moves it over and copies it over basically like normal. Force is not a thing you're probably ever going to use. I don't even know what it does after reading up on like a ton of wiki articles and stuff on it. It does not seem like it's genuinely useful in any way. Move, however, move is pretty useful because as you can see, I brought this over here, and now the one that I was using, which was right in between these two, is no longer there. So if I teleport it, or I try to clone it over here, just straight up, if I can find filtered, or I just get rid of the filtered altogether, I just do this. Now it won't clone anything because that's air. And I go ahead and down here, and it will clone over the air that's here now. So move literally moves it. It's that simple. It will take it from point A to point B, and it will get rid of it at point A, if that makes sense. So if I wanted to, move this to here without keeping it where it was there, I could do that, which this would probably weigh very useful if you're trying to just like move something around all over the place, or if you want to have like, I don't know, if you want to have like a flying like airship or something, like, I don't know, a plane, I guess that's probably a better word for it, which is more of what I was thinking of. Anyway, you could have it being constantly cloned, every second maybe being cloned with the move one block forward, if that makes sense. So I can actually attempt to go ahead and make this, and I'll show you guys what I mean. So if I use this little contraption I made here, you can see that now I am on a moving iron block, and it is sort of just moving me all the way down here. And so this will repeatedly happen, and I actually might not be able to turn this off. Okay, there we go. Which I don't recommend whatever I did, but it just sort of does, it sort of happens, I don't know. Anyway, what I'm doing is I'm taking the block that's directly beneath me, and I'm cloning it to the block that's beneath me and in front of me one block, and I'm moving it, and then I'm using the next one to just teleport myself onto that block. So it essentially just teleports me forward and teleports the block that I'm standing on forward. And this is not very useful at all, but if you really wanted to do this on a large scale, you could do that, and you could make yourself a working plane or a helicopter or something. I don't know, you can do all kinds of stuff with clone commands. Anyway, thanks for watching if you made it to here. I tried to explain this to the best of my ability, although clone commands are a pain in the butt and they are really, really annoying sometimes, but they could be extremely useful. It's just kind of hard to explain sometimes. Anyway, thank you for watching if you made it to here. See you guys later, and bye.